Today we're going to be starting on another Yamaha 650. This one is slightly different. As you'll see here, the front down tubes have been modified on it, not by me but by somebody previously, and there is a Suzuki, I think it's a DR800 single cylinder that's in this frame. So we're about to cut off the back section and put a hardtail on it. This one is going to have a 3-inch stretch and it's going to be sitting about 5 inches from the ground. I've done a drawing, if you can pick that up there. I'll put a photo on so that you can see the sizes and stuff. Going to clean up round about the steering head and get rid of all these horrible brackets. So we've cut the back end off. You can see the difference. I've left the weld on this side and cleaned it up from there, and also down here. Just wanted to show you all the crud that builds up in these spots. You know, it's quite ridiculous that the manufacturers actually create areas where crud and shit can get in. Sometimes I suppose you've no option, but I could have think of better ways of designing it. Right, so here we are so far. What I've done is I've plugged both ends of the tube just to finish them off there and to stop water penetrating into them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece of tube I've cut and sort of lap that in so that it just takes the top section of this cross. So that's welded on. Still got a bit to do with underneath, but I'll get that when I take it back off a jig. Well, that's the basic hardtail tacked on. Still to put in the cross members that will take the mudguard mounting. I'm doing a single seat for this one, and I'm going to tidy up all these brackets around the steering head as well. So we'll show you that as it progresses. So I removed this side with one cut basically. Just chopped that off, and we'll get the other side done now. Should make quite a difference. That was quite horrible looking, that bracket. That's both them cut out now. Now the trick when you're cutting them out, you can cut through this face here and along here, no problem with a grinder, but when you're cutting along this face, just cut so far. Once you've removed the other two faces, you can actually work this bracket backwards and forwards and just snap the wee bit of weld that's left. And that way you won't cut in to this at all. When you go to grind off the weld, it'll be nice and clean. You won't need to weld it and fill it if you do grind into it. So this is a new bracket I'm going to replace it with. Well, this is a cardboard template of it. Ignore the big black dot. I'm thinking of boring a hole there, just not too sure. But we've cut away all the outside webbing here as well that was up there, and we're just going to run a single brace right across the steering head at the front and right up the tank tube there. So that's how it'll look with the tank in place, and just see that's how it'll work underneath the tank. So here's the bracket cut. Burnt it out of 5mm plate, and as you see I've continued it right through. Still don't know whether I'm going to cut a hole through there or not, but just thought I'd show you that before I carry on. So that's the steering head tacked in, or the steering head brace tacked in. As you can probably see, I did a couple of holes in it at the end. Well, I couldn't make up my mind whether to plate inside straight up to the steering head and both sides, or just what to do. So I've actually left that open and I've just capped off this piece here. Still a lot of weld, but once that cleans up it looks better than it did. But here's what I would like to do to this frame to try and make it look a bit nicer. Would be to put 3 tubes through there. Now whether the owner of the frame will agree with that, I'll need to speak to him, but I certainly think that would improve the looks and would also sort of tie up with the holes there in the steering head. And he's also got holes lighting his engine mounting bracket as well, sorry, his head steady bracket, so that might be a way that he'd want to go. So as you can see here, the guy that I'm doing the frame for agreed when we put the holes through it, and I think it transforms the frame altogether, makes it look really nice. So I think that works perfectly. Just mounting up a tool row for him just now. and we're just about finished with this one.